Successful Aviation documentary. Now, coronavirus has hit a lot of industries very hard, but I think aviation has been hit hard the most because, travel has been hindered a lot because of the coronavirus pandemic. So we're going to be looking at some airlines that have been hit hard by COVID-19, that have not just been victims of bankruptcy, but have also lost a lot of money. So here's our list. Thank you to Geography Genius 367 for all his technical support in the show. Hello, Geography Genius 367.
Hi there, Aviation team. Indeed, yes, I will be using the laser pointer, switching between the slides to make everything easier for Aviation team.
That's right. So thank you to Geography Genius 367. Anyway, our first slide is Air Italy. So on 11th of February 2020, Air Italy ceased operating. This decision was made following the shareholders' meeting of Air Italy, Ali Sada, and Qatar Airways through AQA Holdings SPA. According to the airline, its flights were operated by other carriers according to the original schedule between 11th and 25th February. On 19th of February, Air Italy reopened ticket sales for two public service obligation PSO routes, Milan Linate Olbia and Rome Fiumicino Olbia, sorry for the bad pronunciation there, and planned to operate them between 14th March and 16th April 2020. The date of PSO contract expiry, the airline operated the routes until 3rd of February 2020 on the Olbia Costa Smeralda airport closed due to maintenance works for 40 days. And guys, thanks to Wikipedia for all their notes on these. Our next slide, I think, is going to be Virgin America. So Virgin Australia. Virgin Australia reduced 8,000 out of 10,000 employees.
Yeah.
The delay, but we're back to Virgin Australia. So it reduced 8,000 of its 10,000 employees, redundancies and temporary layoff. It formally applied for voluntary administration on 21st April 2020. However, as of that date, flights are still operating and talks about the future of the airline are continuing. On 26th of June 2020, administrators Deloitte announced they had agreed to sell Virgin Australia to American private equity firm Bain Capital. This was approved by creditors on 4th of September 2020. Despite bondholders, Singapore hedge fund Broadpeak and Hong Kong investor Tor themselves wanting to put a bid in to buy the airline. And we have our next slide, which is, I believe, is Flybe. So British Airline Flybe were already struggling financially prior to the virus outbreak, entered administration on the 5th of March 2020 due to the effects of the pandemic. Our next airline here is Avianca. So Avianca is the second largest airline, and I think you might want to go a bit lighter on the laser pointed Geography Genius 267. But Avianca is the second largest airline in Latin America, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York City and liquidated its subsidiary Avianca Peru on 11th of May 2020. Our next one is Thai Airways, guys. Thai Airways announced plans to restructure the company under a bankruptcy court. Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha announced that the Thai government, which owns a majority stake in the airline, would not allow the airline to declare bankruptcy formally. Our next airline is Latin America's group. LATAM Airlines Group filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States for the company and its subsidiaries in Chile, the US, Ecuador, Colombia, and Peru on 26 May 2020. On 17th of June 2020, LATAM Airlines Group announced it would cease operations of its subsidiary LATAM Argentina, with all aircraft returned to lessors and all employees laid off immediately. Our next one here is South African Airways. South African Airways received several billion rand in government aid in early 2020, but the airline had already been under voluntary business rescue since 5th of December 2019. Stricken by pre-existing debts and pandemic-related revenue losses, analysts commented that the airline had effectively already collapsed when the government rejected a request for another R10 billion in aid in mid-April. And business rescue practitioners gave the airline unions a 24th April deadline to agree to a plan to wind down the company, stating that liquidation would commence if no agreement was reached. We also have Cathay Pacific and Cathay Dragon. On 21st of October 2020, Cathay Pacific announced that Cathay Dragon would cease operations immediately after publishing plans to cut 5,900 positions across the group. Cathay Pacific is the main airline and it's the flag carrier of Hong Kong, and Cathay Dragon was a subsidiary, a low-cost subsidiary. And our final one on the list is Norwegian Air. Norwegian Air on 18th November 2020 announced that it would file for examinership in Ireland. Examinership is a process in Irish law whereby the protection of the court is obtained to assist survival of the company. It allows the company to restructure with the approval of the High Court. Now we move on to mergers and acquisitions, guys. In 2019, Air Canada was in talks to buy Air Transat for Canadian dollars 720 million, but later revised the price to Canadian dollars 180 million dollars in October 2020 due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, but that merger was cancelled just a few months ago, guys. In November 2020, Korean Air, more than 170 aircraft parent Hanjin, announced a W1.8 trillion, which is 1.62 billion US dollars, takeover bid for rival Asiana Airlines 82 aircraft from Kumho Industrial, becoming one of the 10 largest airlines in the world, as State and Korea Development Bank will invest W800 billion into Hanjin Car. That's it from Simple Aviation. We hope you enjoyed this documentary. And please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we want a lot of progress in our channel, even if it's slow. And guys, our stats for the channel are really good, so we really like to thank you for this. Thank you guys once again, and it's goodbye from Geography Genius 267.
Yes, it's goodbye from me as well. And please subscribe to Simple Aviation. It really motivates us to
also
do more videos.
And do subscribe to Geography Explained too, which is Geography Genius.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.